My name is Carlos Roque, and I am the Vice President of Software Engineering.
My name's Isaac. I handle all the app development.
I am Chris. I handle the front end development for the customer project.
I'm Vadim Shevchenko, and I'm backend team lead.
I'm Henry. I'm handle the studio side of the front end.
Jason Hammock. I am a software engineer here.
So the main function of my department is to create bugs and then fix them. That sounds about right. The main function of my department is to create the tools necessary for customer success. We pride ourselves into thinking thoroughly through the problems and making sure that the solutions that we come up with are in line with the customer needs. Yeah, I think in addition to that, we are dedicated to the support of our customers. So every time a customer has any issues, it's our goal to resolve any issues as quickly as possible. That way, their business is never affected by any downside from our infrastructure or platform. I have about 25 years of experience in the photo industry. I started my life in the photo industry in on-site printing. My family owned a small photo lab that we tried to make national. We sold that and started working at a photo lab out of Florida. I work extensively on automation. After that, I moved to Bay Photo, and in there I became the lead software developer. I was in charge of driving the strategy for all those applications. The way that influences my work at PhotoDay is that a lot of the things that we're doing at PhotoDay were things that we have always wanted to do, but we couldn't do for A, B, or C reasons. So it's been really fulfilling to be able to do all these things that I always wanted to do by working at PhotoDay.
So my job is also my hobby. So I spend an awful lot of time writing code outside of work.
Yeah, coding. 100%.
My job is my passion.
I think we can all share the sentiment that for us, coding is our passion.
Yeah.
So our job just kind of fits in that. So,
There's not a lot of time for anything else.
yeah.
I always got a meeting here and there.
I do what I do because it's always fun to solve problems. So every time you have a new challenge, like it's a new feature or even a bug, it's kind of like hunting down a solution. So some people like video games or other types of strategy games, but coding kind of falls into that same territory.
There is also a creative and building aspect where you could bring something to life that is an enjoyable experience.
It's very nice to see what you build on the digital arena to actually be used for people who care. And then when they use and they give you some feedback, you can improve, and then you can, challenge yourself to do better and really, help people doing that. So that's a nice part of our jobs.
Very important for me is to grow as a company, and I'm pretty excited that the company growing so good, and we have amazing results and amazing clients and partners now, and a lot of new projects which are for us like new goals. This is very important for me, like for person and for developer too.
Being able to learn and grow in new different areas, be able to put new ideas in either new languages or new frameworks or explore different domains is really exciting to me.
It's really cool seeing something built that people are, using and is having an impact in their business and in their lives.
When you work on integrations mostly, you don't really get to see a lot of your work being used. Obviously you see the product of your work, but when you hear from somebody, hey, this thing you did, that really helped me, I think, it's very encouraging. It makes you feel like you're actually doing something that matters.
Whenever we get positive feedback, it's usually something that we've been working on for a really long time behind the scenes. So when things finally do go public and we start getting that feedback coming in, it's just kind of a reminder of all the work that you did months ago is now catching up and helping people now. So it's a good reminder of why we're doing what we do.
And I end up on this link, which was this couple was telling him how how PhotoDay changed their business and their lives. kind of touch me what they say. Sometimes we are busy doing our works, and when we see something like that, people's life being changed, I think that's what we ultimately, looking for.
I think it's really important to me to build quality software that solves real problems for real people. So it feels good to, regardless of what domain that is, be able to put forth a good product that helps people in their real lives.
A system like PhotoDay is very complex. It requires a multitude of moving parts that need to talk to each other, and every little bit of miscommunication can cause unforeseen issues across the application. Very important that all the pieces work together flawlessly all the time. That includes things like infrastructure scaling, API designs, automation processing, the front end and the apps talking to the back end in a way that doesn't leave too much room for errors.
The first version was completely simple comparing to this version which we have now. Yeah, we are improving our system with new modern technologies. We do a lot of monitoring, a lot of uploads, a lot of photos and so on, a lot of communication, a lot of teamwork.
The user experience, every studio, every photographer, they have a completely different workflow. The journey that a studio expects to take, and like nobody wants to read a manual. So the software has to be intuitive as well. So that's also really, really difficult to design everything, especially new features, in a way that somebody's going to get it without having to dig into the documentation and understand it. And then every time we add one feature, it will have a ripple effect across other features that the studios are already using, and may even have an effect on features that could come in the future. That's another side of the complexity that's still, I think, really important.
There are many things to take into consideration. For example, is availability of workers to be able to handle the load, make sure that we don't overwhelm the database. Our database needs to be large and robust. Our transactions need to be efficient and repeatable. And also, nobody wants to be waiting for their photos to upload and take a long time. There's a lot of work that happens on the back when you upload a photo. So it's important that we build our infrastructure to support that quantity.
So much of what we do is moving files around the system. And so, yeah, I think just like being efficient with how we move things through the system in a way we can be efficient with our resources, but also provide kind of a speedy processing pipeline for customers.
But also the user perception, right? Because when they do something that is standard for an application, they have their own way to upload photos. So we have to always get up to speed on the best practice and how and when and where they actually upload their picture. So we need to give them the right perception. Are they dragging, dropping? Are the images ready so they can start working? Where they're dragging from? Those aspects we need to take care of too, so they actually understand that their pictures are ready and good to go. So that's an important aspect that we need to take care as well.
Or I guess like load on the system that gets as complex as just like looking at how many people or what the load on the current application is, but also moves into like how many photos are we planning to upload in the short amount of time, and then being able to scale up and down to meet that need. Not only does that open it up so that we can handle huge surges in traffic, but it also opens up the possibility where we can be more efficient with the server resources that we currently have.
We make it a focus, especially since we're handling your photos, to make sure that system is robust as possible. We put in a lot of work into our error reporting. We do spend a lot of time taking a look at what errors do come in and when people report.
Give your feedback. We need to hear from users. We need to hear so we can understand how things going, right? Sometimes we are so focused, especially the engineer team, on build features and fix bugs and do our work right because we want to do extremely well. But also we need this part of listen to our users, right, to the customers and studios, to understand a little bit more how do they feel about our product.
We wouldn't exist as a company, as a product without the studios and without the customers, for that matter. So we really do appreciate everybody who uses our products. And to piggyback on Henry, feedback is really important. Positive feedback is great. Negative feedback is helpful. Nobody knows your job and your challenges better than you. So give us that information so we can problem solve, because that's what we do.
We really appreciate that there is people using our software. Like software without users is just some fancy text sitting somewhere on a computer. It doesn't really do anything. The people that make it come to life is our users. So we are very thankful to them for trusting us with their business. So we are very excited about this, showing them our appreciation this week.